Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies for being a bit delayed starting this webinar. It's a live event, so we're currently facing some technical issues in terms of having the trainer to connect. So we are a couple of minutes so that to restore the connection between us and the trainer. Of course, we're very, very glad to have you all today here this afternoon. My name is Panagiotis Marinou. I'm the Program Business Development Manager here at the EIMF, and will moderate today's webinar on Fintech, Regtech, and the role of compliance. We're very, very glad by the fact that the webinar received very, very high interest. Actually, we have received more than 700 registrations, and from an international audience, if I could name it like this, from Botswana, from United States, and many other countries. So it seems that the topic has received has gained your interest. So once again, thank you very much. So some logistics about today's webinar. You can write your questions on the Q&A box so that the trainer can reply and answer your questions probably at the Q&A session that will be held the last 15 minutes after the actual presentation. All participants will receive the PowerPoint slides after the end of the course. Also note that the webinar is recorded, so you can visit the EIMF YouTube channel and view it again at your own pace. Participants who will attend the webinar will attend a certificate of attendance for one CPD unit in financial regulation. It would be nice to mention briefly here that European Institute of Management Finance is an accredited and licensed training provider offering learning and development opportunities, including numerous global qualifications by partnering with international professional associations. Have presences in London, Brussels, Frankfurt, Belgrade, Copenhagen, Cyprus, and Tel Aviv, and over 5,000 students per year makes the EIMF a leader in the field of vocational education in the wider region. We're excited to present today the topic Fintech, Regtech, and the role of compliance. And even more excited to have with us our very good EIMF associate trainer, Rami Altamati, to deliver this topic today. Rami is a leading expert in cybersecurity, blockchain, fintech, and EdTech competency building, with over 20-year experience in organizational cybersecurity consulting in multiple government agencies, public and private sectors, financial, oil, gas, and international bodies. He has also been engaged in multiple international forensics and compliance investigation cases. For several years, Rami served as specialized emerging technology professional and academic trainer, consultant, project manager, helping professionals or organizations across the world in their upskilling and the reskilling requirements or digital business transformation journey. Rami is delivering a number of courses this semester with the EIMF, and so feel free to navigate the EIMF website so that to find more information about Rami courses. Otherwise, you can send us an email and we can provide you with all the information. So About the webinar, of course, we're going to discuss about new technologies, Fintech and Regtech, which are driving the financial industry forward, challenging traditional banking systems in the process. While all of these are closely related and complementary, solutions in the financial services space are not to be confused as the same thing. So, Rami, can you hear me? Seems that we have an issue with the microphone. Can you please unmute yourself, Rami? Until we have restored this technical issue, I'd welcome you once again more. Thank you. And please bear with us so that you restore this technical issue. Of course, I have to say that in recent years, financial services firms have adopted technological solutions at a great clip. And however, last year's turbulent macroeconomic environment and challenging regulatory landscape has even made this more essential in this area. So fintech is rising, and Rami will develop this relationship and how it can be implemented for the benefit of the firm itself and its clients, of course. Rami, can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Excellent. Yes, of course. Welcome.
Sorry, I always have a problem with Team, Microsoft Team.
Not a problem. This is a live event, so
Yeah.
not an issue. Thank you very much for being here with us and for presenting this topic today. And have right now waiting for you to deliver around to 380 attendees. So we're looking forward to hear what you have to say.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm very sorry for this technical glitches and problems. And inshallah, I will be this topic today is informative for everyone and will be beneficial for everyone. I will try to go in between the chat. If you have any questions, you just you can insert it in the chat, and I'll try to answer it during the lectures or maybe at the end. I will keep some time for also more questions.
Yes, the questions, sorry, Rami, the questions should be placed in the Q&A box so that to be easily located and makes it easy for you to track them and answer them at the Q&A session. Just another one, a small comment, in case that you cannot view the PowerPoint, please, you need to log out and log in again. Okay, that's all from my side, and we can start. Rami?
Okay, my screen is just clear now, presentation, right?
Yes, yes.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much. So this is Rami Al-Damati. I am from original Jordan, based out of Dubai. I am emerging technology expert. I have been in this domain like more than 20 years. And I am serial entrepreneur within many companies that I have and cooperate with. I just want to go directly to the presentation. Feel free to connect with me at any time. I'm happy to connect with everyone and answer any questions after and during the sessions. So today's session, we will focus on multiple topics and area. We will talk about the market in general. Then we will talk about the difference between the Fintech and Regtech, and we'll go deeply into each technology about the fintech, why we need it, why it is used, when it is used, sorry, and what is the regulations that we need to be aware about. And the Regtech also, why we need it, where it is used, also the regulation that is being used, and then we'll go to explain about how they each one they complement with each others and the benefit with the challenges that they have it. Then we will summarize with the risk and compliance management area for that. Really, it will be nice if we learn and discuss and have all this type of information that you want to have it as of today. So if we want to talk about the market itself, so you can see that there is many challenges and changes been happening in the last few years, especially within the pandemic time. So mainly even the terminologies of the fintechs being started in 2018. It was like estimated for the international fintech market, and the growth was like more than $130 billion for that, and is being start the talks, the applications, very slowly, but in 2019 and 2020 and above, reaching up to September maybe 21. The adoption maybe is not doubled, it is more than tripled, and the adoptions has been coming very huge. We was doing a small research about how much deals being done for the fintech startups. They raise money, they came in the pictures and so on. We found globally that more than 35,000 deal is been happening since 2010 for the fintech domain itself. So this is bring number. It's a huge number that show us the dramatical change in this area and this domain. And also we found some reports like the BIS report that mention about the amount of the equity funding from the investors themselves in multiple countries, especially in the United States, which is have the top numbers of the fintech companies, and then the European Union, then the UK, then China, and the other regions like Middle East or GCC area as well. So this is like very generic information about the market. If we want to talk about the main differences between the fintech and the regtech, and there is another domain, we will not have it today, which is the subtech for that. But the main two domains that we will focus on them today is mainly the fintech, which is shortly named financial technology, and refer to any technology that it is used to deliver or manage or optimize financial services like payment for your bills, for your school, for your whatever is needed to build over there. Or maybe you want to take a finance, you want to do maybe anything is related to payment itself, and it's used by the business and consumers at the same time with multiple variety of reasons themselves. And we will go with deeply about this information and keep going deep until we understand the full terminologies itself. In terms of the regtech or regulation technology, which is the regulation compliance to regulate this financial technology, which is very important for the business mainly, not for the consumers. Because if I want to deliver a fintech service, I need to follow some regulations, some rules and compliance in order to be compliant with different regulation in different area, different regions as well. And be aware also the region that your application or service will be delivered need to be comply in each region in different way, because the regulation technology is different between country and another. In US is different in Europe, different in UK, even maybe in different in specific countries like France or Cyprus or any other country in different area. So the businesses, they need to be careful about the regulation technologies that they need to follow. Otherwise, they will face a lot of problems. It might reach up to close the company itself, especially if they don't apply for regulations. So if we want to start with the fintech, as we mentioned, it is the financial technology, which is either technology itself or software that will user or the company, they will use it to support and optimize the financial services again. And facilitate these services between the user itself or the consumer itself and the service provider or the financial provider for this one. So the fintech solution, it can be business facing, okay, it can be consumer facing, or it can be both of them, which is mixed between B2B and B2C, which is business to business or business to consumer use cases as a part of this one. And it can vary in different terms of the service or the niche that they are specializing in it. So how is the, if we ask our question, how the fintech is different about the normal application that we have it. Now, the fintech technology, it have the aim to provide a service within innovations, within disruptive technologies that they will change the way of the consumer that they can deal between each others with them, and even engage the financial institute, or they might not engage the financial institute. So it will be maybe online services, and it is considered also as a direct competitor to the banking. You know, not everyone can open a bank institute or bank branch or anything. It's have a lot of details and regulation about it. But the fintech, anyone can open it, and you can even provide a service similar to these traditional banking. This is why it's being considered as a competitor for them. And even you know, the financial service of fintech, they have better services of the traditional banking, and they have less cost of maybe transactions, less cost of the providing the consumer the service of opening maybe a specific wallet, maybe calculate a loan for them, and this technology came to improve the existing financial services from the traditional banking itself within competitive cost competitive alternatives for these banks, and lower price of the service, or even it is have sometimes higher interest rates apart of this one. So when we will need this technology to be used, actually, as mentioned, the fintech can make a risk management easier for the businesses and for all participants in the financial ecosystem itself. This can be happened by saving from equipment failures, data breach, cyber attacks, and naturals of the maybe problems that can be happening with a financial specific financial service, and it can also give better integration with a new technology that can help to work, or let's say do joint engagement between consumer and compliance by applying consumer and companies by applying advanced techniques in the AML compliance programs, or any operation of optimization that can be done. So there is like 6 industries being disrupted and changed by the fintech in 2020. The first one is the crowdfunding. So the crowdfunding is like many companies, they came and it introduced their service like Patreon, like Kickstarts, like GoFundMe. If we take an example like GoFundMe, they offer a traditional banking services, okay, and they allow the people to come and use the application and receive money, send money, fund a specific case or use cases. At the end, they will be able to facilitate these functionality away from the financial banking systems and do the similar job, maybe with less cost, less percentages better than of the banking systems. Blockchain and
sorry.
Yes, please.
It says by fintech in 2020 is correct?
Yes, starting. It is disrupted.
The starting point.
Starting from 2020.
Clarify.
Because
okay.
Yes, yeah. It actually started in 2020 because of the Corona time, and a lot of industries being disrupted from that part. But these companies is already old. What I mentioned, it is old before this one. Because if everyone came and sit in the home, pandemics, all of these things, and they start to use a lot of online services, especially to send money, receive money, facilitate services, whatever is it, outside of the traditional banking services.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. Blockchain and the cryptocurrency. As we can see that the cryptocurrency terminologies came since 2019, 2009. Actually start by Satoshi Nakamoto from the white paper of the Bitcoin itself. And a lot of other service providers start utilizing these cryptocurrency features for that. And open maybe cryptocurrency exchange like Coinbase, like Binance, like Gemini, and many of other cryptocurrencies parts. So they can help people to trade, to use the technology to send and receive money through them, maybe trading, maybe saving, maybe investing in this technology, which build in a trusted ledgers for that part. Okay. Another disrupted technologies is the mobile payment. Again, if we talk about the pandemic and we sit in a closed area and we cannot touch the paper or the fiat money itself, everyone start activate the service of the mobile payment, especially PayPal, Venmo, Alibaba, and Alipay itself, which is used a lot. As of today, we have a lot of countries now depending on them 100% for that, and for using and utilizing it in their markets, especially maybe during the pandemic itself. Insurance also been disrupted by the fintech, because we find a lot of insurance tech now terminologies came, include everything from the life insurance, cars insurance, or basic data protections itself. And we can find a lot of, let's say, startups. They came with the new ideas against the traditional insurance. So they start finance the people. They start finance maybe giving a credit card with a specific limit or a specific use for this period for that one, which is definitely disrupt the insurance sector and compete with traditional insurance company at the same time itself. Robo-advising, stock trading application. The robo-advice is also another fintech application. It's used within the asset management sectors, and it's used a specific algorithm in order to help to facilitate advise people based on some intelligence when you can do a stock trading, which better stock you want to use, which one you can invest, you can buy, you can sell, you can do all of these things, especially like big platforms like Robinhood. Robinhood is one of the maybe largest and biggest platforms that have the robo-advising. You just need to invest and you put your specific amount of money for that. And the robo start running the algorithm, start searching the internet, finding the best practice or best stocks to invest, to buy now or sell now, and start execute the command. Maybe I bought $1,000 and I want them to invest like 20% in specific stock in a specific area. They start execute. If the stock getting better than and better location of enter the market, they will start executing automatic and it will work 24/7. I don't need to keep monitoring the stock area or the stock market. I don't want to stay all the night opening my stock, let's say, charts and keep monitoring because maybe I have different time zone from NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange timing. So they do all the algorithm and do running it automatic and give you the profit. And a lot of people really they win a lot of money out of this and be able to get rich out of this one. But it's have a lot of risk, and it's not like an advice that you go and just invest in this Robinhood application. But you need to study the market. You need to study even the algorithm. You need to understand a lot of parameters in order to run this robo, which is not something straightforward. Everyone can go with this part. Budgeting application also, a lot of startup came with many ideas how you can calculate budgets, collect checks. I don't want to go to the bank and deposit the check or send the check to maybe another parties. I can do it digitally by doing a specific combination between scanning and recognitions of the application. Even I don't want to use an Excel sheet or spreadsheet to calculate and track my finance, my tax, all of this stuff. I just need to download a specific application, and this specific application can be linked to my credit card account and to my account, my debit card, my finance account, or multiple card. And every time I use the card, it will keep updating how much I spend, how and where, what is the categories, and many of things. Like Intuitus Mint is one of the great applications that been disrupt the technology itself. Now, what are the potential benefit of the fintech? It's very simple. It's very simple that it can simplify speed and make a convinced delivery of the online services easy and quick for consumer to access the service itself. Even I don't need to have a bank account in order to get a credit card. But I can get this credit card from this application with a very limited, maybe balance and with less restrictions that can I have it. Definitely there is a risk, but these startup they consider this risk in order to apply this one and provide with a greater and better choices. So I don't need to be stuck with a limited service only in a specific provider. Even I can do a lot of remote work regardless of the location. I can buy online services. I can have a lot of options to do this one. And another benefit it's give is better and cheaper deals. So let me give you an example how this one happening in the insurance. Previously, when we was going to do insurance for my car, let's say, I need to jump between websites. I need to jump between companies' calls, collect informations, and ask them about discounts and all of this stuff with offers. And maybe I get an offer like for a specific quotation, but there is also better than of this one. When one of the application came like making consolidation for all of these companies in one application called like facilitator, insurance facilitator or anything. I just want to put my car details, the year, what is the, I need a full insurance or competitive insurance or anything. So then I click search. It will go and compare between all the better offers in the market and start give me the best options in these companies itself, which is also give a personalized product per the customer need. So it can give me to my need. I don't need to go to the website, search about life insurance, home insurance, factory insurance. Then I find the car insurance. So it's a matter of a click. It's make life much easier, much faster, in order to get my need directly itself. And definitely, any new technology, it comes with risk, with new threats that can be came for that. One of the most important threats or risk it's happening, which is the rights of the consumer are not clear because it is a startup. It's deliver a service, and this service you don't know how they utilize their your financial information. You don't know how they use your personal information, or even if I don't happy with the service, what is my right, and what is the term of condition of the use, and everything for that part. Also, one of the risks is making a rush decision. When you go with an online service, and you can make, let's say, you see the comparison of the product and the prices. Actually, it is not 100% guaranteed that this is the less price that you will take, but you are in a hurry and you want to do a very easy communication way, so you will be able actually to run the application, use the service, and pay for it, and that's it. So you go very fast in your decision, and so on. Plus the technology risk itself. When I use the mobile, the application in the iPhone, in the Android, and others, we hear a lot of data leak or personal information leaks happening on these mobile devices because of the application problem, or the attackers, cyber crimes. They misuse the information that you enter it over there because maybe the server is not secure 100%, or the technology is not mature, or they don't care about the security. Because most of the startup, when they build the application, they want to come to the market much faster. They don't care about the security. They don't care about cyber crimes, because it is not part of their core business model for that one. And the technology exclusions, which is made it a technology its choice and access from the most of the internet consumers. Yeah, it can include these who don't have the know-how of the internet for that. Like, let's say, some older people, they don't know even to use how to use the smartphones or the computers. Also, this is one of the things that you will lose this big portion of the community because of your application is used for maybe younger people, and so on. So the fintech compliance and regulations, it is different in different places. What is this meaning? That when you run application in Europe, it's different of US, it's different from the Middle East because of different of the laws and different of the regulations part of this one. So you can see that the global fintech regulations, it's different from different companies. There is some international bodies, they are looking at challenges from that part, because they want to apply a specific regulation from AML CFT practice. They always recommend a lot of gaps to be filled and fulfilled. The FATF or the FATF approach for the fintech, they have always concerns about blockchain or the distributed ledger technology, the digital identification, how you will identify your identity within the application, and the most important part is the crypto assets as well, and how is the use about this one. Also, the regulation of the fintech is being used existing framework, which is 100% not healthy, because when you use existing framework, it's not built for new technologies, built for old-fashioned technologies. And crypto assets or direct payment through the distributed ledgers or the blockchain, it's totally different. It's not happening for this new technology. So we need a new frameworks to come to the pictures, and we will speak about this part when we come to the part of the Regtech part itself for that. Okay, and there is a lot of fintech products being banned again because crypto asset is not allowed or digital currency is not allowed. The area of working, the restriction of the location of the use of this application, it's definitely it's a matter. Also, the financial authorities has been implementing a lot of actions to assist these interests of implementing the technology. So you need to go, which is this point actually, to go every sandbox to come and see what is the framework for testing my technology within this environment. So if I want to apply it in country A and B and C, so the framework is different from each one and each other itself. And the license, I need to have doing license in every country in order to run my application in this part. And the cross-border provisioning provisions, which is the regulations, how you can send and receive monies cross borders, and most of the regulations not allowing it. Actually, as of today, you can find a lot of challenges. If you want to see the ecosystem, for the top ecosystem, always you can find US, Silicon Valley, for that, and then you can see UK, Singapore, Beijing, and Shanghai, and so on and so on for this area. And this is as of 2020 for the top ecosystem that's been happening. And the ecosystem, it is like a framework that they can support all the startup and fund, market research, talents, knowledge, infrastructure, sandboxing, and everything about this one.
Silicon Valley is being challenged nowadays.
Yeah, this is a 2020. Now we don't know. Maybe they will disappear from this equation as of this part. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening for them. You can see also. Thank you. You can see also there is a different regulatory in different countries. So in US, you can see FinCEN, which is the Financial Crime Enforcement Network. Their objectives actually to analyze the information, the transactions, whatever is going out money in order to track the money launderings and the tourism financing itself. You have the FINRA, you have the FTC, you have SEC, CFTC, all of these. You need to see what is their regulations and what is their requirement that they will ask about during the registration or running the company itself. And the regulatory bodies itself in the US, actually also you need to answer a lot of things related to your application to let them to check it regarding of the what is the act, what is the direction of the business that you are doing it, and are you applying within these regulations for the money launderings or many other things for these parts. In UK also we have many other regularity that you want to run under it and consider like PRA, FCA, and many of other names you can see within the area. European Union also we have many of other regulations that also in place, ISMA and AMLA and EBA, which is the most maybe the most known bodies for the banking sectors or the related services to the banking sectors itself. And compliance itself, regulations, the GDPR, the MLDS, or the revised payment service protectives that is focusing on the payment services and the directions of this service of the payment between sender and receiver, and even that they aim to increase the competition and developing the consumer protections itself. So they care about the protections of their rights, their data, their visibility of the information, and many of other things. If anyone who want to apply fintech to be comply with the regulations, they need to have a lot of steps to follow. This is challenging for the startup usually because they are small companies. They don't have the let's say the fund or the capability to do this, like hiring a compliance expert or seek legal consent for that. So these will help them to comply in multiple area and multiple regions. And consider the AML compliance regulations a requirement in each country, each different country. Develop the scalable AML program and onboard customer in according with the KYC and KYB, which is know your customer and know your business laws. So you see a lot of things they need to follow in order to take maybe one license in one country, which is really very challenging for them. But it is a fact that many things need to be considered because of the vulnerabilities that might happen, regulations of the compliance failure for the applying the risk, updating the product without enhancing the compliance, and follow the sandboxing process itself. So actually, you know, if we consider it as an equations, if I want to follow these steps and how much it will cost me, it might cost me like maybe $1 or $2 million. It is challenging, yes, it's challenging, but if you don't follow these and you fail with a cyber attack and maybe you fail with a data breach, you will pay more than $100 million for that part. So it's better that you can find a way to pay this $2 million against of the $100 million fines, and it might push you to close at a certain time if you don't have this specific fund. It's an example of numbers. It's not 100% number like this. The Regtech part. Regtech part is, again, it is a regulation technology, okay, that it's refer always to the solution that will be optimized and manage the regulations process and the operation within your application, okay, or within the tools that you will have it. In order, we will keep the risk and compliance team appear for this regulation requirement and automate the workflow and improve the risk or manage the risk itself. And there is many differences between these that they need to follow for that, especially the regularity compliance, especially the things related to the AML into the businesses or the AML designed for the business, which is under the regulation technology itself. Okay, why do I need it? Again, if you don't follow the regulations, if you don't follow the compliance itself, if you don't mitigate the risk, apply risk management, risk assessment, all of these, you will be you will spend a lot of money on fines and penalties that will destroy the name, the reputations, and everything about this one. And when to use this one? For that, okay, I need to use it when I build the application, when I build the maybe cryptocurrency exchange, brokerage, credit card process, anything is related to these technologies. I have to do it. Okay, so Regtech is best used to identify verification management. If I want to apply features for the KYC, or if I want to do any change in my application, then I have to return back to this regulation and see what is the change that I need to do it based on the new compliance and regulation. So if we take it as an example for the Silicon Valley banks itself, we can see that from this problem that will impact the whole financial system all over the world, there is a lessons and rules will come after this investigations, and after this, whatever is will be happening after the crash will be happen, and they will be having new now regulation and new rules will be applied on the startups, on the banks, and every part of the ecosystem. Then as a startup, you need to have these rules. You need to apply it again in order to be compliant for what is being mentioned. So this is how usually it's need to be done. Anti-money launderings, compliance and detections, risk analysis and management. Also, this is also a major part for the Regtech area. And you can see that based on some statistics, you can see that 10 to 15% of the workforce is dedicated to regulatory compliance, which is mean that you need to have enough team in order to manage these regulations, especially if you are an international application and you already used within multiple area. Let's say if I want to give an example about regulation in US, you have like 3 laws or 3 bodies that they apply for that. And I have to follow these regulations that they come from them, BSA, MLA, and the USA Patriot Act. In Europe, we have the GDPR, and the GDPR itself, it have a lot of subtopics and sub-regulations that need to be considered, either into the verification level, risk level, data level, information level, it's multiple level, and as well as the UK part. So the common use case for the Regtech, they usually ask the company to follow a specific workflow. Now, once you open the application, I need to identify you and manage your identity. So how I need to make sure that this is Rami and he's have this is ID in his passport and matching and put it in a specific database, secured, no one can access it. Also, the any change happening in global regulations or local regulations need to be managed and came up in the pictures. Also auditing, regulatory reporting, case management, all of these need to be audited and need to be reported for any case might happen within the regulatory part or within the application or the software itself. Analysis the risk, you need to see what is the risk that can be happen. Any new attack, any new threats might come, you need also to update your systems, you update your data in order to consider this one. AML compliance and detections and fraud detections. Actually, now we start using the artificial intelligence, machine learning in order to understand the behavior of the user, the behavior of the transactions, or the behavior of the company itself transactions, because there is a specific mechanism that if you send $1,000 every day or you pull money like this, there is specific parameters. The AI will understand that this is part of the AML. I need to consider, I detect it, I have to check it and report it in order to avoid any part of this manipulation happening. And even the fraud detections as well. So maybe some people they're scamming or try to do fraud for your account or access it without your authority and without the needs. Now, if we want to ask how the Regtech help you to stay compliant as application or as a user, Regtech is the regulation that will organize the complete flow between you and the consumer, or between the startup and the consumer, or service provider and the consumer itself. And they will the Regtech will keep updating the requirements that came from different regulatory providers or bodies across the regions or the globally, and performing the regulatory monitoring and screening, keep monitoring and screen and automate the reporting and the management. So the Regtech part, actually, you need to register with a specific company, because you cannot hire a full team of people who can communicate with each country understand each report, understand each regulations and compliance. You just need to just integrate with Regtech body, and their core business. They will do all the process, the procedures, all what is need to be done, that you need to apply what is coming from this outcome or from this integration itself. So if the procedures of the KYC, KYB changed, automatically your system will be adapted. So it is agile systems will be adapted automatic without any delay or impact on the user. Sometimes there is a payment process change happening globally. You need to follow. So once the database or the regulations being updated from the Regtech part, and you integrate with this Regtech part, you will be able to automate this process. And in order to maintain your license for the company inside the country, which is pushed by the maybe central bank like new banks and the other credit card facilitators companies, you need to make check about every single things happening in operation, in interaction, in data, in storage, and everything within your application. So this will be automate the process, because the AI engine maybe or other automated process like RPA, which is the robotics automation process, can do all the work for you and save a lot of time and money and effort for you. How it is usually used for that part? We do integrate with identity verification and authentication. So once you open the application for the first time and you want to log in to your application, you start mention your name, your email, your details. Then it will redirect you to another third party, which is the regulatory party itself, to identify the KYC process. Like, open your camera, please, take a screenshot, screen or face recognitions, video, talk about, they want to hear your voice, hold your passport with the ID. They can match the time with the process, with all this this part itself for that. And once the KYC has been done, they will go to the level of the CDD, which is the customer due diligence. I want to check about you. Are you credit free? You have problems? Maybe you are wanted globally. You have maybe I want to do profile for you in order to understand the next step of giving you a loan or give you an insurance. The profiling, yes, the profiling, 100%, yes, for that, which is a customized service for that. And when you want to do transactions, I want to understand the UBO, which is the ultimate beneficial owner. You are sending it to whom, by whom, what is the reason? Maybe you are supporting terrorists, maybe you are supporting a war, you are selling drugs or anything for these parties that they will receive it. And if there is a problems, there is a case management can be happened. Also, you can check your scoring for your profiling and continue update the system step by step and deliver your audited report to be comply without any problem. And this is also beneficial for the user themselves. They will protect. I will be asked to protect their data. I have to also mention where the data and who can access this data. Also, there is an option that I have to put it in my application to give the option to the user to delete his data by himself, by law. So this is a regulations is being asked and being updated for all the application that is being used. So the compliance management and audit is very important to protect everyone, profiling and data and information. And finally, there is many technologies supporting the Regtech. I already mentioned it. Maybe the best one is the first one is the big data. Whatever information I collected from you about you, your profile, all of this information, I can use it to enhance the customer experience. by using the artificial intelligence. Save your data in a safe storage like the blockchain. I don't want to put it in a centralized, I'll put it in decentralized area. The machine learning also will help me a lot to understand the scamming or the behavior of the user itself. Some applications, they have a lot of intelligence that they can understand and feel the face recognitions. Maybe you are not feeling good, or you are let's say, pushed to open your mobile in a way your machine, your hand is shaking. All of these can be also work with the integration with the application itself to be more smart and more detectable about this one. Even sometimes if you open a specific application and try to do a screenshot, all the application will close automatic. So these all based on some behavior analysis or machine learning itself. And you can do integrations with many local systems. If I want to pay for my bills in let's say the electricity government or the water government or whatever municipalities, I just have the APIs to be integrated and start do the information. Cloud computing will help to do the fast processing, the calculation, and all of these area. Okay, so this is mainly what we need to talk about it today. If we let's see if there is a questions.
Yeah, of course.
I try to be within the domain.
Thank you, Rami. Okay, we know that we have run out of time, but it was because of the technical issue that we have faced. So we have a question, actually, the Q&A box. How is Regtech different from SAP tech or SUP tech? If there is such a terminology.
I don't see this question. So it is, how is the Regtech different from Super Tech, which is the Super Tech. Super Tech actually, Super Tech actually, it is a big application that can. 1 second. Okay, SuperTech is almost the similar because we talk about Apple, Google, Alibaba. This is a SuperTech application. They have a lot of services. They use a lot of application. They use in the social media, in the community, and many things. Plus, they enter to the market of the fintech. So they start deliver the payment services like Apple Pay, like Alipay, like all of the others. But they also have higher challenges, more challenges, because they need to follow all the world compliance and regulations, and they are responsible for many things. And you can see in the last time, Facebook face a lot of problems and pay a lot of money when they get breached because of the data. And Apple, they have the same sometimes the problem if they get. So the difference between them, Regtech is technology help you to be compliant. So these are specialized in compliance. They know all the rules. They know, understand what is the problems and how you can solve the problems, and you integrate with them. SuperTech, no, they are a service provider, and they have a fintech application, specific fintech application.
Okay, thank you very much. We don't have any other question, so not to extend it much and be able to. You want to make a comment and to wrap up today's session?
Yeah, actually, I hope that all of this information has been beneficial for everyone. I try to make it very short and deep to the topic. But we have more, I think, advanced courses that we already deliver with multiple day courses, and they can join these courses from the EIMF website. Because this domain cannot be explained in 1 hour. It needs like hours of explanation, use cases, discussions, and all of these details. And we are open to get any questions, answers from everybody. If they have specific case they want to discuss it.
Sure. Your courses would be more will analyze more the subject in more depth. So welcome everyone to join it. At this point, we're going to close today's webinar. Thank you, Rami, for being here with us, for your insights.
Welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us at the end of the webinar, and we're going to be happy to see you in a future webinar next month. Have a nice afternoon, and once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.